We're talking with Marilyn Kinne. Marilyn is president of Accurate Lubricants and Metalworking Fluids in the Dayton, Ohio area. Marilyn, you've been a Chief Executive Board's member for a long time. What is it that keeps you coming back to these events?
I think the main thing that brings me back to these events are the people. We keep getting a new flock of people with different levels of experience, different ideas, and to me it's very refreshing and amazing. A lot of the young people coming in, just getting their ideas and their look on business and business life helps me on a day-to-day basis with the young people as they're coming into our business.
So having business owners perhaps outside your own age group has been valuable to you.
It's been absolutely phenomenal as we bring up the new people in our group and as we bring on the possible new ownership team. It gives me insight and understanding where they're coming from, what their ideas are, what their aspirations are.
Yeah. You mentioned new ownership team. You've actually brought a person from your business into Chief Executive Boards.
Yes, I have.
What was the idea there?
Well, it's interesting. I would come back from Chief Executive Board summits, board meetings, and Chris was very interested in hearing what was going on. All my managers have been. They always were like, what's Marilyn's new thing this month? What's the new book report we're going to be doing? But Christopher was extremely interested and showed a lot of interest in becoming a member. And with the way we had ourselves organized as a group, CEBI didn't encourage that originally. We were looking at possibly another alternative group, but with him coming into the ownership group, it was a natural transition to bring him in, and he's absolutely enjoyed it. He's absorbed a lot of information, and it's neat to see him grow. It really gives me a great feeling of accomplishment to have brought him in.
So you can see the difference.
Oh, amazing difference. It's just it's a level of maturity. It's that step up to the next level of professionalism, of understanding, of just the whole buying in concept of being an owner.
So, Marilyn, I've heard people say, gee, I can't afford to take that time away from my business. Now, you're not only taking the time away from your business yourself, but you're sending Chris away as well. Why is that?
I think the proper question to ask is not, how can I afford to take the time? How can I afford not to take the time? Because that time away that we spend here is given back to us tenfold in what we've accomplished as a company. It's that time away to really discuss things, concentrate on what we want to do and our involvement in our business. So it's not, my time away. It's why would I not do that?
So it's a lot more than just one more day slugging it out at the office.
Yeah, it's amazing. You get into the grind in the office, and a lot of times your mind will drift because you get tired. Here, if you're overloaded, you get overstimulated. You don't get overloaded and get tired. It's just a different reaction to a lot of information, a lot of things going on. At least that's the way it is for me.
Sure. Now, you have lots of other sources of advice and counsel outside your business. What's different about this group of business owners and other people you might engage on a more specialist type of basis?
I think the two things that come into play, one, it's not the same industry. So it's absolutely non-judgmental. It is not someone else who's in the same industry, so they're going to say, well, this is how I did it, this is how you should do it. And so it's very subjective, it's extremely supportive, and it's so reassuring because it's not that you have problems, it's that everybody has the same equal challenges in totally different industries or different services. And so you don't feel like you're the Lone Ranger out there. It gives you a really good commonality feeling.
So at this particular summit, other than you and Chris, there's nobody here in your business or anything even close to it. How transferable is that?
Actually, if you've got people problems, you've got people problems. Every company, unless you're a sole proprietor, has other people. If you have a business that needs funding, you've got financial problems. If you've got products or services, then you have substantive problems that you've got to deal with, whether it be a product issue or a service issue. And what's interesting is we are a distributor, so what we do is we take things from one source and take them to another source and sell them. And what I've learned from this group is that you can do more than just your business. You can expand and make it something different. make it more encompassing, more important to your customers. And one of the things that we've really concentrated on probably the last several years is the fact that we're no longer in just a product industry. If you have a product, you've got to have something else to differentiate. And so the service or knowledge content basis comes out. And that's one thing I've really been excited about lately, just kind of getting to know, and as we work into the age of websites for us, is that knowledge base and sharing that with the customer and sharing it openly and not hoarding it, but sharing it openly and saying, here's what we have to offer, come to us for more.
Yeah. So if somebody said, gee, what would somebody that sells lubrication oil and cutting oil do with the website? I mean, you've figured out a way to leverage that.
Very much so, very much so. And each time we do something, it almost tends to build with an exponential growth factor. We started out with a very plebeian website, and now we have a very interactive website. We're sharing our knowledge base. We've gotten into e-commerce, and so many of these ideas have been in the back of our heads knocking around. But to have the courage to step forward and do it and say, hey, you know, if it doesn't work, try something else. Have that courage to go ahead and do something different. I think a lot of that encouragement comes from the group and from the fellowship you build with the other CEBI members.
So you see some support and encouragement besides problem solving and advice giving.
Yeah, and the one thing I always told people that when they say, well, other than all that, what do you get? If you're doing something right and you don't know it's right, you have the possibility of changing it and ruining what you might be doing right. And the affirmation from the group saying, oh, no, that worked for us, it's a great idea. That affirmation saves you from making horrible mistakes when you question your own judgment. So that's the other part of it, too, is the affirmation of doing something right.
Well, you mentioned something that's interesting. A lot of people bring problems and issues to these meetings. Other people, like yourself, bring an idea, put it out on the table and say, hey, anybody see anything wrong with this?
Exactly, and that's the interesting thing, is that there's no set format of what you do. There's some suggested formats in our discussions that kind of guide us, but everything that I've ever done is it's kind of like pretty loose, and if you want to discuss it, the group says yes, it's on the table.
Excellent. So what would you say has been the best part about this whole experience for you so far?
Oh my goodness, it goes back probably now, I'm thinking 12 to 15 years. I don't remember when I first started with CEBI, and it's got to be the people. It's got to be the people I've met, the friendships I've made. They're long-standing.
That's great. We've been talking with Marilyn Kinne. Marilyn is owner and president of Accurate Lubricants and Metalworking Fluids in the Dayton, Ohio area. Marilyn, thanks a lot.
Oh, thank you.
Good to see you.